And welcome back to the final mission of the space shuttle. We're getting word Mission Control right now is saying no go. Again, this is going back and forth. We got the weather was green a short time ago, but at this point, Mission Control is saying no go. But we'll continue to follow this. The launch is scheduled for 11:26. We're anticipating President Obama soon to appear in the Rose Garden to speak about jobs. We will bring that to you live. At this point, when you hear Mission Control saying no go, what does that mean exactly, Katie Coleman?
It depends what it's for. In this case, it's for the weather. And it means, you know, got certain criteria that have to be met in order for all the systems to be go for launch. And if any one of them isn't go, then we're waiting on those things. And there's usually specific paths that they're going down to solve those problems and explain to the flight director in what time frame are they solvable and what's their plan for
So it doesn't mean the mission is no go at this point. It's just the weather is not possible.
And everything is proceeding on track as if the weather was go, but right now we are still no go for weather.
And there's an astronaut right now, Rick Sturkow, right?
Yes.
And he's flying in the shuttle training aircraft, and he's doing real-time look at the weather conditions above and aloft to gauge what the situation is, the height of the cloud decks, the thickness of the cloud.
Exactly.
All that plays into whether they can launch, right?
And if they don't launch today at 11:26, can they launch tomorrow?
They physically could, but it would be harder. And the mission management team has made a decision that with all the crowds that came to see this launch today, the folks that have to work after the launch that doesn't happen, those folks have to get home. They have to get some sleep and come back. And actually, because of the extra crowds, the workforce really just can't get in and out fast enough.
That's interesting because so many people come. I estimated 1 million people. The workers here actually physically will be delayed getting home, and so they've decided they can't do they won't do the launch on Saturday if it doesn't launch today. So the crowds actually do kind of affect
Well,
it.
I would say this affected it. It's not like the primary driver. Sure. And basically they had 3 days of a launch window here, and they had to focus on 2, and I think that was just one factor that contributed.
So when would be the next day they'd go for?
Sunday morning. And every day it's about 20 minutes earlier, so about 40 minutes earlier than 11:26.
All right, well, everyone's hoping, obviously, it is still going to happen today at 11:26. The clock is ticking. As we said, we're also waiting for President Obama to speak on the jobs numbers that came out today. Let's quickly check in with Brooke Baldwin, who's at the Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex. Brooke?
Hey, Anderson. Yeah, I know you're hearing possibly no go, and I know this is the final space shuttle launch here, and we are hoping to send more astronauts up in space. Take a look next to me. I might have found a few who are waiting in the wings. Let me introduce them. They are David, Jay, both of whom are 4 kindergartners, aspiring astronauts, and I have Cade here. Cade came all the way in from Colorado. Cade, high five for the commander suit, buddy. Oh, so why do you like space so much, bud?
Because, like, I never been there before, and so...
Me neither, by the way.
So when I grow up, I'm going to be an astronaut, and I'm going to the moon.
You're going to go to the moon? Maybe I could come with you? As a journalist, I could come with you on board.
Yeah.
What's so exciting about being here all the way from Colorado and seeing this launch?
Like, I never seen the launch before. I only saw it on the computer, but now is my first, my last time to see it, and...
It is your last time. This is the last space shuttle. Are you a little sad about that?
Yeah.
Maybe you can help develop the next one. Okay. Cade, thank you so much. Guys, nice to meet you very much. Nice to meet you. Thank you very much. Anderson, back over to you.
Brooke, thanks very much. It is now the top of the hour, 11 a.m. on the East Coast of the United States. We're 26 minutes away from the planned launch of Atlantis, the last shuttle mission, live here at Florida's Kennedy Space Center. We are also anticipating President Obama to speak any moment now from the Rose Garden in the White House. Take a look at this, though. Atlantis and its crew of 4 are ready to make history minutes from now with the last liftoff of a U.S. space shuttle.
It'll be at that moment when it's finally over that you'll be able to exhale, take a breath, understand the significance of the moment.
But Americans have been fascinated with space exploration for decades.
I believe that this nation should commit itself to achieving the goal before this decade is out of landing a man on the moon.
The first generation of astronauts became our national heroes. The missions that followed broke down barriers on Earth and beyond. NASA made the unimaginable happen before our very eyes.
4 hide return temps. Hurley's not reporting any RAF at this time.
Battles with red tape and unspeakable tragedy may have marked this program, but Americans still feel pride and patriotism when we hear the countdown.
0 and liftoff.
And hope.
I hope to become an astronaut.
Hope for the future of a program that will not end after this, the final launch. The program will not end. Of course, it will be a very different space program in the years ahead, and we'll talk about that in the hour ahead. The launch anticipated to be 11:26. Again, a lot depends, though, on the weather. At this point, it all seems to depend on the weather. I'm joined here by CNN's John Zarella, also astronaut Katie Coleman, who most recently spent 6 months on the International Space Station. We'll talk to her throughout this next hour. I want to quickly check in, though, with Chad Myers, who's at the Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex. Chad, what's up with the weather right now? The sun was peeking out a short time ago.
It's still getting better, Anderson. There's only one little fly in the ointment, and there's a kind of a thick cumulus cloud above that little treetop there, little palm trees. If that cumulus deck is more than 4,500 feet thick, that means there might be rain drops in that deck. The shuttle cannot fly through rain. Why? Because if the shuttle is wet, and then 2 seconds later, it's high in the sky at 70 degrees below zero, clearly that water freezes on the shuttle and even freezes under some of those ceramic tiles. But over to the left, let's keep going around here, you get rid of that cumulus deck, you have weather just like this. It couldn't be better. That is spectacular weather. If the weather continues to move in like it is, and we can wait these 26, maybe 30 minutes, because there's a small fudge factor in that 26, might be 30. They can still catch up to the ISS by launching just a few minutes late. It's getting better as we speak. Everybody here waiting for this launch. We have hundreds of thousands of people here, all on their feet, waiting for this to go. Anderson?
Chad, we'll check in with you again, 11:26, the time that it is supposed to launch. Let's hope it does. What a moment that will be. The last time you will ever see the space shuttle launching from the United States, from anywhere. The last time the space shuttle will launch, the crew of the final four, they call themselves, is ready to go. President Obama is going to be speaking from the White House in just about a minute or so. We're going to bring that to you live, and I'm here again with Katie Coleman and CNN's John Zarella. At this point, I mean, with a crew that's so experienced, does one get nervous?
That's up to each individual person. I would doubt it. Actually, we're really focused on the mission. I think from watching on board the station, we had 2 shuttles visit us while I was up there, and I think we're a little nervous up on that. At least I was a little bit on the station. You just want those guys to launch. You want them to launch in their window, and you know. Do you enjoy
it? I mean, when you're, are you so focused on work, or are there moments where you're just like, you look out the window and
being up there on the station?
Well, on the station and on the shuttle.
You know, you have to, and actually you're really busy doing your job, but I think the thing to do is to actually capture a few memories that you just put in a special place and you have, and you can reach back and sort of, you know, feel them. But certainly when launch itself happens, I think there's a part of all of us that is just amazed that people are leaving the planet, and you're one of them.
And in terms of where the space program goes in the future, President Obama has said very clearly he wants NASA to focus. Let's listen. Actually, President Obama is coming to the Rose Garden right now to speak about 11:26, the launch of the space shuttle Atlantis, the last launch of from the space shuttle program. 30 years now of history, concluding really today with this launch, and then of course the return days from now. I'm here with CNN's John Zarella, also astronaut Katie Coleman. At this point, Katie, what is going on both here in the local control and also mission control in Houston?
So as we speak, launch control here in Kennedy Space Center is actually having a poll to see if each system is ready. And so they're doing that right now to see if they're go to come out of the 9-minute hold.
And it's the launch control here which controls things until what point? Until
the shuttle clears the tower, and then it's mission control in Houston controlling the shuttle mission. So launch here, mission Houston.
They're polling right now. We can hear them. You have the range is clear. The only issue that right now that they're facing is whether the weather is go. So that's what we've got. Launch team is ready to proceed. They need a little bit more time, they're saying, evaluate the weather.
So more time is needed. Again, 11:26, still on schedule for that 11:26 time. There's a remarkable video that CNN.com has made showing all 134 launches of space shuttles. This will be, of course, the 135th launch. We'll add that on to this video at the end of this program once this launch is successful. But let's just take a minute. It runs for like a minute and a half. It's a quick video. All 134 launches, in case you've missed them. I think John Zarella has seen nearly all of them.
Just about.
Just about. I don't want to date you here, John. But let's take a look at. Let's take a look back. The remarkable moments.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. We have engine start. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we have liftoff. On its way.
Space Lab 2.
Shuttle has cleared the tower.
Roll program initiated. Houston controlling now.
Roger, roll, Challenger.
Americans return to space as Discovery clears the tower.
Liftoff of Columbia and the first dedicated medical research flight. 6-man crew on the Department of Defense flight.
Climb to 28.5 for inclination orbit. Atlantic speed now 500 miles an hour.
Maximum dynamic pressure on the vehicle in the lower atmosphere.
Heading engines at 100%. Well, the vehicle's rate of speed will virtually triple.
Flight controller standing by for burnout.
And we've just got breaking news. John, why don't you tell the folks?
Yeah, we're listening, and the launch director is saying we're looking better every second. He just told Ferguson, the commander, Christopher Ferguson, to have a good launch, you know, Godspeed, and it's looking real good.
And have a little fun, he said.
Have a little fun was what he said.
So have a little fun.
And actually, Fergie then, you know, answered just to say, you know, from the crew, how they're feeling. And I didn't catch all of it, but just a really nice speech about this is the beginning of one journey, but it's actually a journey that never ends.
And an example of what great nations can do, the Space Shuttle program.
Let's take a look at these astronauts. At this point, the launch is a go. It's going to happen 11:26, just a few minutes from now, about 10 minutes from now. That is, man, that's just going to be a remarkable moment. I mean, this thing, this is the last one we will ever see. They are talking about doing kind of a smaller shuttle that will be able, a taxi they're calling it, that would be able to ferry people to a space station or other missions.
Yeah, we've gotten so we understand how to get people up and down, and it's time for NASA to be actually out of that business so that we can focus, you know, our expertise on harder problems that need solving, which is to go further and to be, you know, the moon, Mars, asteroids. And so it's going to be
go for launch. The launch director said we're go for launch. They cleared the last issue, which was an return to launch site. If, God forbid, they ever had to try and come back here, they've cleared that issue, that weather issue. That was the last one that they were facing, and they are now clear to pick up the clock at 9. So they're going to start counting it down here.
And we'll watch as soon as that countdown clock starts to move at T-minus 9 minutes. Just so you know what we're going to do, just in the last few minutes before launch, we're going to stop talking, and just you will hear launch control, and you will hear that for many minutes before the launch and also all the way through once the space shuttle has been launched and it is heading off into space. We want you to be able to hear all the natural sound, all the mission control, launch control. We want you to hear history as it's happening with us, without us talking over it.
Now, I was telling you, Anderson, that back in 1988, when the first return to flight mission, the clouds kind of opened up and Discovery lifted off, and then it closed back up 30 minutes out. I'm looking up there, and there's a hole about the same size as the one Discovery flew through back in 1988.
4 astronauts on board. Let's talk about who those astronauts are. Commander Chris Ferguson, Doug Hurley, Sandy Magnus, and Rex Walheim. Most of usually it would be a larger crew.
It's right, but we actually have to, I'm starting the 9-minute hole. We're coming out of it.
Yep,
there we go.
Just began. T-minus 8 minutes, 57 seconds. And you can hear an applause from the crowd here. No doubt that applause will be echoed among the million or so people who are estimated to be watching all over this area, on beaches, on boats, all around. This has really attracted a huge crowd. So many people bringing their families, coming from all around the world, wanting to witness history as it's happening. And there you see the countdown clock. Now, will there be a hold at all on that?
It shouldn't be.
No, they're
go.
Yeah,
they're
go.
go.